Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Elmore County Commission work session dated Monday, May 13, 2019. We extend a warm welcome to all of you, and we will call this meeting to order. I'd like to recognize some elected officials that are with us today. We have District Judge Patrick Pinkston with us. We appreciate you being here. Are there any others that I overlooked? Well, again, we appreciate all of you being here today. We'll begin with some special presentations. First, we would like to, we're continuing an effort as a county commission to recognize student athletes and students at our local schools in the county who accomplish something on the state level. So oftentimes it results in a state championship of some sort, or of, in this case today, of two sports teams. We also recognize state accomplishments for academics and other extracurricular activities. So we look forward to recognizing these two groups today. First is the Edgewood Academy softball team, who recently completed their season and won the 2019 AISA 2A state championship. We'd like to invite head coach Mark Segrist to come up here to the podium. He's going to just hit some highlights on their season, and then we'll have all of the softball team come forward for a group picture.
First of all, thanks for having us. Thanks for recognizing these girls. It's always a great thing to see them get recognized for what they earn. This year was a great year for Edgewood softball. Back-to-back state champions. We won it last year. It was 3A. We moved down to 2A this year, and I thought 2A was a little bit more difficult. We looked at 15 and 10 in that state in the playoffs, but we started January the 8th. This work time for the last 4 months. These girls gave great effort every single day of practice. They had great attitude. We ended the year 47-17. Went 4-0 in the state tournament. One thing is for the people who follow baseball and softball, we scored. Last year we won the state championship by really playing the bat well. This year we won by scoring 11 of 18 runs by squeeze bunts. So this team commits to whatever they have to do to win. This is great fun. We have two seniors, Amy Brothers and Mary Michael Burns, that both commit to play at the next level. And, it's difficult to win one year, but when you come in with a target on the back the second year, this is testament to what they're, we're able to do and bring on another state title. So we appreciate the recognition of this girl.
Thank you, Coach. We appreciate you and your commitment to the young people. We'd like to invite the softball team to come forward. We'll get everybody up here for a group picture. Coach, you'll come up here. Next, we'd like to recognize the accomplishments of the Edgewood Academy girls track and field team, who won the team title this year in Class 2A of the AISA. There were many accomplishments this year by individuals and as a group in their team successfully getting enough points to win the team title. We'd like to invite Coach Kevin Smith to come up to the podium. He'll give us some highlights of the year.
Thank you. We had a really good year this year. This was the first year our girls have won the state championship. We've won the boys 2A division 3 times in the last 6 years or so, but this was the first year for our girls. You'll see a lot of them hanging around from softball. A lot of them split their time between us and softball and dedicated themselves to both sports. We had 2 girls finish in the top 8 and qualify for the final throws in the shot put. We had Jesse Morales, who finished third in both the 200 individual and the 100 individual, and then we had 2 girls relay teams qualify in the top 8 and score points in the finals at the state championships. So we had a really good year. Again, first year for the girls to win the state championship. So thank you for having us here today and recognizing us. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you and your efforts. Any of my commissioners have anything they'd like to say?
Chairman, I'd just like to thank the coaches for the time they devote to these students and the parents that allow their children to play, and appreciate the hard work of the students to get where you are. I consider it an honor, I know my fellow commissioners do, to be able to recognize your accomplishments. The things you're learning now will be a good basis for you to be successful in your life. So I appreciate everybody that's a part of this. That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you. Any others? Okay, we'd like to invite that team to come forward, all those who were on the girls track and field team. Thank you. Thank you. Again, thank you very much. We appreciate all of you being here and appreciate the opportunity to celebrate your accomplishments. We'll proceed now with our regular business, a review of the minutes of the April 25, 2019 Commission meeting. Any comments or questions there? We'll move forward, review the memorandum of warrants for the period of April 18, 2019 through May 7, 2019. Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, for that period, the memorandum of warrants was $2,040,076.05.
Thank you. All right, we'll proceed now with old business. We have a public hearing today of a proposed vacation of a portion of Neighbors Circle. We'd like to invite anyone who is here to speak on behalf of the vacation of this road, either for or against. You're welcome to come up to the podium right here and address the Commission. Please state who you are, what your interest is in this, and your address.
Thank you, Commissioners. Justin Edwards, attorney for the petitioner, Joel Hart, his father James Hart, who lives next door. We filed a petition to vacate right away. We've given notice. This is a county dirt road. We've given notice to all the adjoining landowners. No one has opposed it, and we've gotten consents for all the adjoining landowners to join in, and they support, as far as we know, the vacation of the right-of-way.
Okay. Thank you. Any comments or questions from commissioners?
Mr. Byer, just to refresh my memory, this road's never been developed. It's just platted on it was just drawn on a tax record and nothing.
No, so this is a current county dirt road that we maintain. This is just the far west end where it ties back into Redland Road.
Right. Okay.
And this is in Commissioner Daughtry's district at District 2.
It is. I see no problem with it whatsoever. We got a few other dirt roads we'd like to give you as well if you want some more.
Yeah, we're glad to get rid of them.
All right. Any other comments or questions? All right. Thank you
for coming.
Is there anyone else here to speak for or behalf of this particular proposed vacation of a portion of Neighbors Circle? All right. Hearing none, we'll proceed with our new business. We'd like to invite County Coroner Brad Linville to come forward regarding the appointment of Leo Gross and Charles Turner as deputy coroners. Just step up right here. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Are there any comments or questions from commissioners?
I could see a benefit from this, in certainly a family having to wait for you if you're alone, you know, have those duties, and having a deputy that would be available when you maybe not be available. So, right.
Got it.
I could see that benefit, better serving the people.
Yeah, thank you, Commissioner.
Thank you,
Daughtry.
Commissioner Daughtry. Any other?
Correct.
But no salary.
No salary. And I think my current budget, there's a little wiggle room. I didn't go to one seminar, if you're looking for that. And also, I've turned in a cell phone. I'm using my personal cell phone. So there is a little leeway.
Thank you.
That's the concern.
Any other comments or questions? Mr. Courtney, do you have anything to say regarding this?
I don't, Mr. Chairman. I did take a look at it beforehand, and everything seemed to be in order. I looked at the paperwork that he turned in, and we reviewed the statute, so I think we're all on the same page with everything.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll proceed now. We'd like to invite Ms. Michelle Wood from the Elmore County DHR to come forward to address the commission and audience regarding Foster Parent Appreciation Month.
Thank you. My name's Michelle Wood. I'm the director for Elmore County DHR, and Elmore County DHR appreciates the County Commission taking the time to recognize our foster parents in Elmore County during May, which is Foster Parent Appreciation Month. DHR in Elmore County currently has about 18 approved foster homes that have the difficult job of taking in someone else's children and providing a safe, loving home for them, sometimes for a few days, sometimes for a few months, and sometimes forever. There are currently 55 children in care in Elmore County and over 6,000 children across the state in foster care. Obviously, there is a continued need for more homes across the state and in Elmore County to help us in taking care of these children. This afternoon, we'd like to recognize those families who have already made the commitment to love and care for these children by presenting this proclamation that each of you have signed. Whereas children are key to our community's future success, prosperity, and quality of life, and whereas children have a right to thrive, learn, and grow in a safe and loving environment, and whereas foster parents, including kinship caregivers, provide the love, safety, and stability that children need in order to overcome past traumatic experiences in order to reach their full potential, and whereas Elmore County DHR foster parents are caring for and nurturing more than 60 children and youth in foster care today, and whereas Elmore County DHR foster parents are helping birth families heal and thrive so children can be safely reunified, and whereas Elmore County DHR foster parents help children transition from foster care to permanent homes through adoption or guardianship. And whereas we must come together as a community to recognize the important role foster parents play in caring for children who have experienced abuse and neglect, supporting family reunification, and building strong communities. And whereas there is always a need for more foster parents in order to ensure children, especially older youth, children with complex needs and siblings, have a safe, stable home in their community. And whereas there are numerous individuals, nonprofit organizations, and public servants who are dedicated to raising awareness about the needs of children and youth in foster care. And whereas through partnerships with families, child welfare staff, and public and private agencies, there's a collaborative effort to ensure that children are supported and successful. Whereas Elmore County DHR and the Elmore County Commission joins in specifically recognizing May 2019 as Foster Parent Appreciation Month in honor of the foster parents who act as true champions for the children in their care and are helping to ensure their brightest possible futures. Signed by Kenny Holt, District 1, Mac Daughtry, District 2, Troy Stubbs, Chairman, District 3, Bart Mercer, District 4, and Earl Reeves, District 5. I'd like to formally recognize a few of the foster parents that were able to join us here today. Ken and Jessica Gibson. Daryl and Abby Otwell. Deborah Myrick. And Mark and Molly Kirkland. If we could get a picture with all of us. Okay. Thank you.
Invite all of you to come up for a picture, please.
Ms. Wood, I want to get her right here. Hold on. That's a wonderful time.
Yeah, it is. All right, we will proceed under new business. We would like to invite Ms. Kendra Williams from the Community Action Partnership of Middle Alabama to come forward regarding the nomination process and bylaw approvals. Yes, ma'am.
My name is Kendra Williams.
Make sure you speak into that microphone. Is the button on? Okay.
I am Kendra Williams, Executive Director for Community Action Partnership of Middle Alabama. We acquired Elmore County Community Action back in December of 2017. We've been operating with them for 1 year. And we ask you to approve the selection process of our bylaws on page 7. And we ask you to please appoint someone to our board from the commission. I have been with Community Action for 17 years, and our operation in Chilton County has been there for 54 years as of next month.
Ms. Williams, will you explain to them why they're being asked now to adopt the bylaws and all that in terms of how you took over and what board positions there are, that kind of stuff?
Yes, sir. We took over, like I said, in December 2017, and we reached out earlier when we first took over the Community Action Agency here in Elmore County. We were given some names by the state of Alabama, which is ADECA, to contact, but those people had been out of office a long time ago. And some of the ones we contacted to ask for information was very negative towards us, and so we couldn't get anything going at that time. So I reached out again because in our state agenda, we have to have you all to approve the selection process. So that's why I reached out again to get this approved, because if we don't get all this approved within a year's time, we're docked for that, and our bylaws and stuff won't be sufficient. So I come to you today to ask you to please consider. As far as the nomination part of it, the bylaw committee writes our bylaws for the agency. Once somebody gets on the board from the county commission, they can be a part of that process. But until then, we use what we got in-house to write the bylaws, and they were written over once we acquired Elmore and Ottawa County. So once somebody comes on board, once you appoint someone from either your commission, or if the commission can't serve, they can appoint an alternative to serve for them.
All right. I appreciate the explanation, Ms. Williams. Can you, what would be expectations for an appointee? How often does your board meet? Where do they meet?
We meet 4 times a year. They can meet anywhere, but they choose to meet at our location in Chilton County, which is our home office. We have a conference room there, so they meet there. We do ask that your commissioner, whoever you appoint, be on our committees, and they meet 6 times a year.
Okay. All right, so the expectation today is a proposal for us to approve the bylaw modification and then begin the process of identifying an appointee.
Yes, sir. It's approved the selection process, which is on page 7 of your bylaws.
Right.
I sent Richie a copy of everything that...
We have it.
Everything.
Okay. Any comments or questions from commissioners?
We appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
we appreciate it.
Thank you for having.
All right. We'll proceed now. Discuss Syscon Professional Services Agreement Extension for the Probate Office. Mr. Byer.
Mr. Chairman, at the end of this month, the current contract with Syscon, which is the document management system that the probate office uses and that outside entities can use to view the documents in the probate office and get copies of them, will expire. What you have in front of you is an extension of that contract. Everything is consistent with the current contract. I believe that the only thing that is different is there's one less license, and it's a remote license. I think that was done at the time to allow Linda Blankenship the remote access when this first started, when she was having to work from home initially because of a health issue. So everything else looks like it's in order, and this is the current system that they have. So swapping from this at this point is not really a feasible thing. So.
Good. Thank you. Any comments or questions there? All right, we'll proceed. Consider Emergency Medical Service Board new contract agreement with Haynes Ambulance. We're familiar with the process in regards to EMS services throughout the county, and we've had representation from our emergency management and our county commission to participate in the negotiations of this contract. So I'm going to let Commissioner Mercer, who's been in attendance of those meetings, address any bits of information that we need to be aware of.
Thank you, Chairman. I serve on the board as representative for the County Commission, and our EMA Director, Keith Barnett, serves as Vice Chair. They have done a great job in negotiating this contract. This process started, I guess, probably back last August, September. That's when we first started the process. We put this contract for service out for bid. What this is, there are the 911 calls for medical services come through Elmore County Dispatch. They are sent to the person that wins this contract, basically, to provide EMS services. Haynes Ambulance was the low bidder on it. I've served on this board since it was formed, and I guess the last time we went through this process was 5 years ago. I would say this cycle that we've been through, we've updated the contract to get a little more information out of the Haynes, the provider, as we refer to them as far as their response times. They have a certain number of minutes they have limitations on responding to certain areas of the county. We monitor that every month. This contract that we have negotiated with them would allow us to get a little more information so we can better analyze that. We will have 5 advanced life support trucks in the county. One will be stationed in Tallahassee, one will be stationed in Wetumpka, and then the other 3 can be stationed throughout the county at the place they choose. so they can meet their run times that are stated within the contract. They will continue to be providing free training for free CPR training to our first responders. Of course, this contract was put out to receive bids from people across the state, but we're glad that to see a county that was started here in Elmore County win the contract, have roots here in Elmore County, and we continue to look forward to working with them. Keith, would you like to add anything as the vice chair of the board that maybe I missed? Okay, very good. Okay, very good. All right, that's all I have, Chairman.
All right, thank you. Any comments or questions from fellow commissioners?
I certainly want to commend Commissioner Mercer and Mr. Barnett, everybody that was involved in negotiating this contract. You mentioned that we had 5 units in Elmore County. To put that in perspective, maybe a little bit, there are some counties that only have 1, 2, or 3. So I think we're very blessed to have 5. Can never have too many, but it's good.
Also, we're probably one of the few counties that surround us, as far as small counties, that have the life flight system in place, like we have in Wetumpka. So that's a good thing.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
No, sir. They were the sole bidder this time.
Any other comments or questions? All right, we'll proceed. Consider setting a public hearing for a 050 retail beer off-premises only and a 070 retail table wine off-premises only liquor license application by Lakeside Highway 111, LLC, for Lakeside Marathon 6265, Holtville Road, Wetumpka, Alabama 36093. Any comments or questions regarding moving that forward? Okay. And moving to the next, consider setting a public hearing for a 011 lounge retail liquor class 2 package liquor license application for Lakeside Highway 111 LLC for Lakeside Highway Package Store 6269 Holtville Road, Wetumpka, Alabama 36093.
Commissioner Mercer,
Yes,
where
sir.
Where is that located at?
The Chevron there, the old Chevron past 4 Mile Creek, just north of Wetumpka,
yeah.
right before the canal.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, any comments or questions there? All right, we'll proceed with consent docket. Approved family medical leave request for William Robbins, investigator, effective 5/28/19. Move forward. Personnel notifications. Notification of resignation of Jessica Smith, probate clerk, effective 5/20/19. Notification of transfer of Lisa Rucker, dispatch supervisor, to dispatcher, effective 4/24/19. We'll move forward now with reports to the commission. Any report, Mr. Byer?
Mr. Chairman, the only thing I'd like to do is just echo the comments about the EMS contract. Our county attorney and Commissioner Mercer worked tirelessly with Keith on this, and kudos to Keith, because Keith has done an extraordinary amount of work on this, especially this is one of those things that greeted him coming in the door, and he's done an excellent job of getting his hands around that and getting this handled and making sure that we were on time and this contract would not lapse or have any kind of break in service. So just wanted to make that comment tonight.
All right. Thank you. All right. Reports from the commission. We'll begin with Commissioner Holt.
Mr. Chairman, it was really nice to see these young folks. They excelled in softball and track and field, as we all know probably. The girls softball national championship start this week, so you know it coincides kind of with that. So it was good to see them, and it's good to see the people that are working with underprivileged families. And I know you're here today with the Sunshine Center, so we appreciate you too. But other than that, and saying that it's nice to have a decent crowd tonight. I really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Thank you. Commissioner Daughtry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to once again thank our EMA director. It seems like it's a regular thing there. Almost every time we have a meeting, we're thanking him for getting us through another storm. Commissioner Holt has been hit in the last few weeks, his home, and now Commissioner Mercer was hit a week or so ago, and Commissioner Reeves and Chairman Stubbs, it might be in order for us three to seek a purchase of a storm shelter the way it's going. But you know, we can't say enough about our EMA department, our volunteer fire departments, our first responders. Anytime we have a storm or anything like that, they're out there in a matter of just moments, and I don't think we can commend them enough. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Chairman, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
It's amazing how quick they get things organized and get people out. So I meant to say thank you too.
Thank you. Commissioner Mercer?
Thank you, Chairman. Since our last meeting, I wanted to report on a few things. I've been working with ACETA on two projects. One specifically, over the last couple of weeks, we had about 10 writers that were in Elmore County, and they were here specifically to write and collect content about the multiple outdoor recreational and fishing opportunities we have in the county. They visited sites, our lakes, our rivers, and they created a lot of stories and videos that we will be receiving over the next coming months, and we'll be sharing with everyone. But I know we see all of these opportunities every day, and sometimes we take it for granted. You bring someone here and you tell them about it, and we've already had two of these guys scheduled to come out, and they wanted to write additional things about our county. So we think that's going to be very, very beneficial. The other thing I've been involved in with ACETA that is the state finals of the Alabama Student Bass Anglers Fishing Association. They hosted over 200 boats here in Elmore County the weekend of the 4th, and that was very successful. I know we had a pre-tournament meeting at the Wetumpka Civic Center the Thursday night before the event, and it was standing room only in there. We talked to multiple businesses over the last couple of weeks, and they definitely saw an increase in people throughout the weekend. And what we know that happens is these fishing tournaments come in a week before, and they pre-fish. We had a couple of teams tell us they had rented houses, and they had as many as 20 people on their team that stayed here all week to pre-fish before the tournament. So we know it was a great positive impact for the county. So I appreciate ACETA and all their efforts that they put toward making that successful. As we previously mentioned, on Saturday, May the 4th, we had a thunderstorm roll through, and it collected all of its energy, and it dumped it about probably a 0.2 of a mile radius from my house. I had probably, I would say, 12 to 16 large pines down in my yard, and so did my neighbors. So I live in an older and more developed neighborhood, and all the trees and shrubs and greenery foliage in the area is big. There's probably not one street in my neighborhood that doesn't have some kind of debris on the side of the road. I want to say a heartfelt thank you to our volunteer fire departments. As was mentioned earlier, they were went into action just immediately. Appreciate EMA. Keith was there with us all day Saturday afternoon, all day Sunday. Appreciate the highway department, the sheriff's department. They were there to lend us any kind of support we needed, and we did need a lot of support clearing roads. So I appreciate everything they did. And you know, it's kind of the joke in my circle with my fire department friends. If you live near a county commissioner, you'd better be careful what's going on, because so far 2 of us have gotten hit. So we hope that will stop the trend here before long. Chairman, I hate to end my comments on a sad note, but I just want to acknowledge the passing of Ray Smith. Ray was a resident of Millbrook. He was a founding member of our ACETA, which is the Elmore County Economic Development Authority, and he was currently a board member the day he passed away. Ray was always very engaged. He was always someone you could count on. He loved Elmore County. He loved his family and his friends, and he's truly going to be missed. I'm going to miss him. He was my friend, but he's truly going to be missed on that our Economic Development Authority board, and I just want to acknowledge that and say how much we appreciate what he did for the county over the many years he served. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Reeves?
Yes, I want to say good evening, and I thank everyone for coming. And look, and I want to thank all the first responders for all the storms and stuff we had. And I thank God that no fatalities. And then we can always reel back. But then thank God for the lives that are spared. That's all.
Thank you. I echo my fellow commissioners' statements regarding our first responders and others. I'd like to just share briefly. We've gotten more than our fair share of experience over the last 5 months in responding to these types of storms. Some garner a lot of public attention and news media, and others, like the events that took place on May the 4th in Elmore, did not have the coverage on the news, and the other and people in our community just weren't familiar with the devastation that happened in that very concentrated area. Just briefly, I'd like to share, when a storm like that happens, initially there's the emergency response to clear the roads and make things passable, ensure everyone's safety, restore essential services, power, water, whatever may have been damaged. And then our group from the EMA goes out and does assessments and evaluates these homes to determine what needs they have. And once we have the assessments together, then we depend heavily on volunteers beyond that. There are many restrictions and limitations placed on the county on what we can do, which is nothing beyond the roads and the right-of-way. So when there is that type of debris, trees down, things like that, we assess those things and we put together work orders, and then we depend heavily on volunteers to step out, groups, whoever it may be, to perform some of that work for their fellow neighbors. And I know that storm happened on May the 4th. Here we are 2 weeks past. And I think any group could contact our EMA and they could have work orders for you ready to go on assignments that need to be completed. And we facilitate that, and we make every effort to try to connect the resources with the victim in the storm. So we have tremendous volunteer groups in this area that are reaching out and looking for ways to serve, and I can think of no better way to show your Christ-like love for your neighbors than to serve them. So I just encourage all of you to seek out those opportunities. We will continue to try to manage that and facilitate the service opportunities. But beyond what's in the road and in the right-of-way, we are very limited in what we can do. But we don't just try to forget about people. We try to manage the situation and coordinate those volunteer response to try to make people whole. We also have the Elmore County Disaster Relief Fund, which has been in existence for several years, but was reinstated in response to the January 19th tornado that struck Wetumpka. And this most recent storm on May the 4th has now, by the board, been approved as a disaster that those individuals could apply for financial assistance from the Elmore County Disaster Relief Fund to help them in the time of need that they may have. So there are opportunities out there to serve, there's opportunities to donate, and there is help available for those individuals. So I appreciate our community and willingness to reach out to one another. We'll now proceed with important calendar dates.
Thursday, May 23rd is our next commission meeting and work session, beginning at 5 o'clock. Monday, May 27th, the courthouse will be closed in observance of Memorial Day. Saturday, June 8th will be the next countywide cleanup day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Noting the rotating location is the Cusata Post Office.
Thank you. We'll reconvene shortly. Welcome to our Elmore County Commission business meeting dated Monday, May 13th, 2019. We'll call this meeting to order. We will begin with an invocation, which I will offer, following which Commissioner Holt will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. you'll pray with me. Our Heavenly Father, we are grateful for the opportunity to gather together and to express our gratitude to Thee for all that we have. We are grateful for one another and for our community. We are grateful for the beauty of the earth. We are grateful for the opportunity to serve. We ask Thee to bless us that we might be mindful of those in need, that we will reach out a hand of fellowship and service to those who are struggling. We ask Thee to bless us with clear minds that we might know and understand the needs of our community and our county. Bless us with a willing heart to serve. We ask Thee for these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Would you please stand? Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Ms. Kim, would you call roll?
Commissioner Holt?
Here.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Here.
Chairman Stubbs?
Here.
Commissioner Mercer?
Here.
Commissioner Reeves?
All right, we'll proceed with regular business. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the April 25, 2019 commission meeting as presented during the work session?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve the memorandum of warrants for the period of April 18, 2019 through May 7, 2019?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Proceeding with old business, is there a motion to approve proposed vacation of a portion of Neighbor Circle?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Proceeding with new business, is there a motion to approve resolution recognizing Edgewood Academy softball team as 2019 AISA 2A state champions?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve resolution recognizing Edgewood Academy girls track and field team as 2019 AISA 2A state champions?
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve appointment of Leo Gross and Charles Turner as deputy coroners?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve Foster Parent Appreciation Month proclamation?
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve Syscon Professional Services Agreement extension for the probate office?
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve Emergency Medical Service Board new contract agreement with Haynes Ambulance?
Motion approved.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve setting a public hearing on Thursday, May 23, 2019 at 5 p.m. for a 050 retail beer off-premises only and a 070 retail table wine off-premises only liquor license application by Lakeside Highway 111 LLC for Lakeside Marathon 6265 Holtville Road, Wetumpka, Alabama 36093.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve setting a public hearing on Thursday, May 23, 2019 at 5 p.m. for a 011 lounge retail liquor Class 2 package liquor license application by Lakeside Highway 111 LLC for Lakeside Highway Package Store, 6269 Holtville Road, Wetumpka, Alabama 36093.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Studd?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Is there a motion to approve the consent docket as presented?
I'll make the motion we approve.
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Studd?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
Proceeding now with personnel notifications. Notification of resignation of Jessica Smith, probate clerk, effective 5/2019. Notification of transfer of Lisa Rucker, dispatch supervisor, to dispatcher, effective 4/24/19. Any additional reports to the commission? Is there a motion to adjourn?
Second.
Ms. Kim?
Commissioner Holt?
Yes.
Commissioner Daughtry?
Yes.
Chairman Studd?
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer?
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves?
We're adjourned.